Yo, yo, how do you say this? How do you say yo, fuck that. Put the camera on. Yo, so anyway, you niggas is dirty, ain't you? And remember, y'all flood these people. Y'all flood these people comments. Y'all flood they videos. Y'all flood all this stuff, and they are easily able to embarrass the shit out of people all the time. Two best words for what are they? Two best words for like black scholars is pseudo and Wikipedia ship. That's what they do. Let's just say it like that. Okay. People in modern time, you guys are being kept slaves due to slave masters that look just like you. How could this be true? Because why would a group that is flooded in pseudo call other people pseudo? How are you allowed to do that? If that's not working for you, if that's not strong enough, well, let's talk about Wikipedia scholarship. Matter of fact, fuck this music. I don't even need that shit. What is the encyclopedia? What is the encyclopedia for? Encyclopedia is a book or set of books giving information on many subjects or on many aspects of one subject and typically arranged alphabetically. If you are not familiar with a concept or topic, consult an encyclopedia. So, in so many words, an encyclopedia is kind of like a collection of the main crux or juice that you're going to get out of reading a book on whatever craft it is. I'm not talking about science fiction and, make-believe fake stuff. No, I'm talking about information. So basically, you can read a whole book on peanuts, or you can go into a encyclopedia, since it's in alphabetical order. You can go to the letter P, and then you can look up peanut and pretty much get the same gist of what you would have got reading 8 to 10 books on peanuts. It's an easier way to look up what you're looking for. All right. So let's go to Wikipedia. What does that mean? Wikipedia is a free content online encyclopedia written and maintained by a community of volunteers collectively known as Wikipedians. Okay, what is Wikipedia used for? Wikipedia's purpose is to benefit readers by acting as a widely accessible and free encyclopedia. Okay. So there's a group of people that want you to feel that using Wikipedia is pseudo and not real scholarship, even though Wikipedia is based off the encyclopedia, and Wikipedia is created by Wikipedians, people that look up encyclopedia information and then put it on Wikipedia. Okay. Black street scholars are all Boule. They have to be, because why would they want you to go and read inside of an old funky book? And in 2023, because I can hear what they're saying. Oh, you know, reading reading a book is more fundamental than Wikipedia. But Wikipedia is not a movie. The argument used to be the movie is not better than the book. You need to go read the book. That was the argument, and it makes sense. These black Boule scholars are telling you, no, you can't even use Wikipedia. You have to read the old book, even though Wikipedia is the encyclopedia on the internet, which is a faster, easier way of getting the information that you're looking for. Why do you think they did that? It's another weird thing that they say. Lookership. They say lookership like if your eyes don't work. People that are telling you that, original Buddhas are black, or the original Americans are black, and then you see these facial features of people, and you're like, you're you're pseudo, you're doing lookership. It's like, not necessarily, because remember, black is not a race or a country or a nation. That is a made up term that is used for depiction. It's an adjective. So, since there is no black land, how is it lookership if we're talking about complexion? The person is black. You guys always remember this. The word black is before America is created, just like the word Negro is before America is created. Only in America, the corporation is black and white, an agenda against each other. We know the caste system, but no. Only in black and white is it used in the literature. There's black codes. There's white laws. There's different stuff. But these words exist before the corporation is created. So how do you, in turn, try to take this word in the corporation and try to use it that way outside of the corporation? It's not going to work in your favor, because it doesn't make any sense anywhere else. Black in Old English means pale. You know what I mean? Negro in Spanish is not referring to ex-slaves that it has nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? They're not talking about a group of people. They're using descriptive language as if, you know, pinto negros. You know what I'm saying? It's like black beans. Okay. It's describing the color of the beans. It's not talking about a group of people. So it's going to be confusing as hell. But you wouldn't be able to get any of that if you just read these black scholar books. Like, you wouldn't be able to even get that type of, outlook. Basically, I'm saying this. If you notice all the information they wanted you to know, all this you're from Africa stuff, you're the original Egyptian, the system's out to get you, boogeyman stuff. None of that stuff is hidden. They give that right to you. They don't give you 1492. They don't give you, Hindu. India doesn't exist until 1947. They don't give you the things that you need. And I feel it's because they are like at the end of their run, but nobody can see it because we're still allowing them to use their dumb talking points like lookership, Wikipedia scholars, pseudo. It's like, why is everything they're doing credited to the white guy? The white guys are like, they could say a fallacy, they could say cap, they could say, anything that they would. That's another weird thing. It's like, we make up all this slang all the time. Why would you take the white guy's word? He's the one that calls things pseudo. So why would you start calling it that? Seems like to me, you guys are, for the university. Dan Calloway and Top Cats just admitted it again. It's like, I had been said this shit on my old page. I've been said this shit. You know what I'm saying? And actually, I still have a video like on my page that I brought back where I'm basically saying, nigga, it was these Boule SNCC group college kid fucking Masons that fucking suckered the people into the shit. And like they said, that one time, that famous picture of Martin Luther King being locked up, nigga, he's a grown-ass man locked up with a bunch of kids. These are all children they had marching out there. This is how sick and devilish the Boule is. Nigga, they used the kids. They were all kids. Everybody who got dogs sicked on them and they breast bit and they grind area, those were all kids. The hoes getting sicked on them is kids. Propaganda. That's why the whole world was like, oh my God, they're doing this to black children. They wasn't going to. It was Martin Luther King. And here's another weird thing that they admitted. They admitted that all the old heads of that time told the kids not to get involved in that shit. The whole civil rights, they told them don't get involved in that shit. Oh, if they wouldn't have done civil rights, we'd never gotten freedom. That is a damn lie. Always remember, the black man had already fought for civil rights in the 1700s. That's how we had our own towns. That's how we got Emancipation Proclamation. That is civil rights. It's like, but that was in the 1700s. That's even before that was in the 1800s. That was before the 60s civil rights. There's the 1800s civil rights. So it's like the whole equal thing that had already been. What the 60s civil rights did was that mean you couldn't discriminate by sex, race, religion. And I know people are like, well, see, race. No. You had your hometowns already. You already have your own business. So when they're talking about in the 40s, black people are in poverty, it's in poverty to the standards of who they're rating it to. They're not talking about their communities being impoverished amongst, their own communities. No, who are they rating it against? Well, excuse me. Of course, if you segregate these people and don't give them the best medals, the best whatevers, it's like, excuse me, of course, to yours is going to be secondary. So yes, you can say they were poor in that sense, but not really. Not poor in character, not poor in judgment, not poor in discernment, not poor in family morals, not poor in keeping themselves up, being having a good work ethic. They weren't poor in all these arenas. That's why they had their own towns. Like I said, it's only poor to the standards of, yeah, they don't have no Gucci, they don't have no Louis Vuitton, they don't have no Suplex, Plaza or something like that. Okay, yeah, in that sense, you could say that they were under the poverty line. But what is this poverty line we're comparing it to? They're segregated. When they keep talking about the 40s, the 30s, and 20s, they are segregated. So what poverty line are they rating it by? They're rating it by the white people's poverty line. Okay, nigga, yes, I'm pretty sure, yes, in the 1930s, the brokest white person would be compared to the richest black person. Yes, I'll give you that. Yes, there's no problem. I don't have no... You guys think you're smart. You're not. I'm not no damn slave. You can't play these stupid games with me. So when you listen to people like Larry Elder and he's like, oh, through the 40s to the 60s, it was the largest growth of black economic wealth, ever. You know what I'm saying? It went up by, I think, 40%. Okay. Why do you think that is? Because remember, in the 60s, we lose all our businesses. So it's from the 40s to the 60s. So that means all through the 50s and the 40s and probably like 64 until we signed that bill, blacks were doing great. Why? There's more lynching and hanging and all types of stuff. And remember, this is what none of these black scholars are talking about. But like, there's more lynching, burning, and hanging in that time. So why did black people perform better with more odds against them than now with no odds against them, more money, and more freedom? You know what I'm saying? You have more dead bodies. You have more people getting incarcerated. You have more ODs. You have more suicides. You have more, single parent households. You have more trauma and drama with all these freedoms opposed to when you were limited. Why? This is where the Boule scholarship comes in, because nobody can front. You can be cool with Malcolm all you want, but you're only going to go two ways. You're either going to go to that slave Islam stuff, which we know that's Boule, or you're going to go to that slave RBG, Pan-African stuff. Okay, both results, you see the ending. Chicago is damn headquarters of the NOIs. All fucked up in Chicago. So obviously that shit's not working. Pan-Africans are sprinkled all over the place. Oakland, LA, New York, Chicago, Atlanta. You see the black community. So obviously that shit's not working. But you had your own towns. You had your own businesses. Like, you guys, you know what pisses me off about black people? These motherfuckers act like they don't have the background to prove what they are supposed to be doing. What do I mean? Black people will talk about slavery like that matters. And motherfuckers say, oh, it does. No, it don't. Do you know that it is you who invented the air conditioner? It is you. But check this out. Here's another weird thing. The dude who invented the air conditioner is the same dude who invented the flushing toilet. It would make you mad being like this smart and seeing your people this far behind and like they just don't get it. It would make you mad. It'll piss you off because it's like, bro, we invented the first flushing toilet, not even for the house. You know that, right? You know where we invented it? We invented it for the train cars. So that means technically the first flushing toilet ever invented was invented for a fucking train, for a railroad train. That's where we invented it. So that means we invented the flushing toilet for all moving vehicles, whether it's the bus, whether it's the plane, whether it's the van. It doesn't matter. Wherever there's a flushing toilet inside of a moving vehicle, that's because of a black man. We invented that. Just like your bed. The whole bed thing, just like the original barber setup. Like, bro, the leaning back chair on. Okay, why don't you know this? Why are you not told this or taught this in your public schools? Why not? Why don't they want you to know about what black people did? Because this is real stuff. You got to get past talking about racism when you put your children in the schools with the racist teachers. You did it. These were all Democrats. You knew who they were. And you think just because you're black, segregated, castrated, beat up, embarrassed, enslaved ass finally went over there, that was going to make them do good by you. That's why you've been done so wrong. They're like, oh, Board of Education. No, they made it look like they were doing something for you. All these different rights that they came in. Yeah, brown person, the Board of Education. Yeah, black people have to learn with white kids. But you didn't know what they were learning. The whole time they're programming their kids. This is the Western world. It's a whole new world that they're creating. So they're programming their kids to think white is right and white invented everything and white is this and white is that. That's why there's only one Black History Month. And everybody else that they bring over here, they don't really talk about. You never hear about Asian inventions like that, even from white kids. They don't teach that. You'll never hear about Arabian inventions or Hindu. They don't. They only talk about them. But here's another weird thing. Do you notice they had to make them all, the caste system, white? Irish people used to get hung in this country, literally, burnt to a crisp. Italians used to get hung in this country, burnt to a crisp. Now they are considered socially white. Why is that? Because they joined their program. Remember, it's a program. You had your own shit. We already know the Indian thing, but no. Just stay with the Negro American. Fuck it. You had your own stuff. Your own stuff. So you had to be able to invent. You had to be able to agriculturally survive. All this is stripped and took away from you as soon as you do the Martin Luther King thing. That's what happened. It doesn't matter what nobody says. Martin Luther King knew he messed up because he says it at the end. He's like, yo, I took my people into a burning building. Okay, that's when we should have left, but we didn't. We started, talking crap about the other side and claiming that all Republicans are racist when really it just looks white over there because you're not over there. Just like the Democrats only look black because you're over there. That's what people don't get. That doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh, they just listen to rock and roll music. You invented rock and roll. You see how weird you sound? You keep saying weird stuff like, oh, they only listen to rock and roll. Bro, you invented rock and roll. How are you? It's just like rap. How do you let them take your stuff? How do you do that? Because you just be out here playing. But I can see why. Because all of this Dr. Ben talk came in. All these dudes either went one or the other way. They either took us to Africa or they took us on a spooky mission. And if it wasn't that, and if they were on some economics, there was still some racism involved with it. And it's like, bro, you cannot. The racism has to die, period. Even if you feel that, these people did something to you. Black Wall Street wasn't built off the anger of slavery, and newsflash, nothing's built off that because you guys have that anger and you haven't built anything. So that's how you know it's a lie. That's how you know it's a lie. They just keep you enraged because you're blind by your own anger. All true masters know that. All true senseis tell their students that. It's like you cannot be angry. You have, you can be involved, you can be concerned, and you can be prepared, but you cannot be angry. You cannot be blinded by your anger, because anger makes you ignorant, and you'll miss your target, and you will be defeated. So why do you think black people don't go anywhere? They're angry. You cannot win a fight mad. You can't. You have to have a calm mind, to that way you can see everything that's taking place. You can see it before it happens. You know what I'm saying? What true master do you ever see angry? Like, no, they're always laughing at their students. They're always saying some slick parable or something that they're, why? Because that's the point of it. The power is in the technique, the skill. You can see that through my student. Through my students' works, I don't play. I can fight, but why would I be so calm? Because that's how knowledge is passed. Nobody. That's why I think a lot of people don't watch my videos, because I do a lot of rage talking, and a lot of people aren't built like that. They're not, into aggressive conversations. So this one I'm trying to look different. What I want people to know is all that stuff got to kick the can, bro. All that, the holidays are made from this and this, bro. What does it matter? Who cares? The people selling hearts at Target on Valentine's Day, they're not thinking about cutting out, hearts and mailing it to their loves. Nobody's thinking like it. You're going too hard into the wishy-washy science when you just need to see the facts. You've dealt with religion. You've dealt with racism. You've dealt with aliens. You've dealt with all different types. You've dealt with other cultures. You've dealt with all different types of stuff. One thing you will not deal with is the masonry that has taken place here. And I know why, because a lot of you have family that's Masons and you love them and all that different stuff. But you never really talked to them about this type of science anyway. You didn't talk about this type of masonry. Probably we're talking about some old evil stuff. No. We're talking about how if the masters of the world, the governors of mental wisdom, do not organize and set order and protocol to humanity, the people, there will be complete chaos, because you guys do not come out the womb of your mother knowing math. You don't. You don't come out knowing reason, sound reason, and proper, breakdowns of information that's going to be passed to your brain while you're here. So we have to have elders, whether it's physically or mentally. We have to have people that are watching the door, in more of a responsible way, instead of, you just get it how you live. And no, if you notice, it's only a few that are living. Most are suffering. Why? Because of this individual crap that has never made any nation. Everything comes together. All armies win by being united. That is the point. You know what I'm saying? All these states are separate, but this is the United States of America. Why? Because if you shoot one shot at California from another country, we all got to get at you. If you shoot at Texas or New York, see what happened when the Twin Towers got hit? Everybody in America joined together in that fight. Troops were sent from Washington to Maine, Florida to California. It's like you have to understand something. When you are a unit, when you make this true kingdom of heaven on earth that this Bible is talking about, it is a complete corporation. It is a complete unification of the arm, the leg, the arm, the head, the body, the spirit. The whole thing is connected. That's power. And with that type of power, you can make great changes in your society as a whole. You don't have to be this bottom feeder anymore in society. You don't have to be this group that has no, chance of surviving. And it's like, no, we can do this. But first things first, because there's a line in the sand. Yeah, you're African, you're Indian. Yeah, we got that. But that's for people that really care. The ones with common sense know they're not a continental African. And you'd be a fool to think. I think Smokey Robinson said it best. You're going to find out real quick when you go over there that you're not an African. You're just a American in Africa taking up space. You know what I'm saying? You're not them. And they know you're not them. We're a whole new group. Yes. So are these white people. You don't think white Americans feel funny going to their homeland? You think the white Irish born and raised in America, when he goes to Ireland, you think he feels at home? Knowing he doesn't know those dances. He doesn't know them songs. He doesn't know that, town beer. It ain't a champion of the world, but it's a champion in that town. Not knowing that, you're going to feel out of place. You're going to feel real out of place. And especially you ones over here that, y'all don't know these tribes. And then y'all claim to be two different parts. Some of y'all claim to be Nigerian and South African. How you gonna do that? It'd be better to just say you are a new thing, right? Yes and no. Know that you're a new thing that has been around. Say that much. And there's a reason that there's such a big, funny story over here. And there's so much misinformation told over here. There's a reason for that. I don't know why people keep thinking that they just lie about history everywhere on earth. They don't. All those people know their history and they're proud of it because they brag about it. Only here do we get some story about some people and then, oh, no, turns out, no, those aren't the original ones. There's actually some older ones. We're like, oh, no, turns out I called him a name, but no, that place really didn't exist yet. Africans, we're Africans. Our ancestors stated it on, this is the Boule scholars. Our ancestors stated it on writing. They wrote it down in books. But the first person claiming this whole African society, all this stuff, is starting with a Barbadian, somebody that was born and raised in Barbados, and their mom is French and their dad is English. Then you have Afrikaners. Name has an F in it. It's spelled with an F. So it's more urban influenced than, the way that they have you spell Africa. But wait a minute, these are white people. If I don't let you out of the trap, you'll never be contained in it. You can't stay in the trap if I don't keep you in it. So this is why if you use Wikipedia, you are pseudo. This is why if you use one of your five senses, you are pseudo. Everything has to go in their narrative. That's how it has to be. Or you're fake. But Wikipedia is just the internet version of a encyclopedia, hence why there's pedia in it. But you're not allowed to use that. But all encyclopedia is doing is it is a collective of information that is easier to grasp due to being in alphabetical order. So no, you'd have to read these old dusty books 100 times. You have to keep reading the same books. Nothing new. I'm not dissing the Aboriginals. All the scholarship that they're bringing, they're like, yeah, these books are old too. But no, you can't use that book. You can't use that book. It's not it's not respected by the collective of scholars, that the system has created to keep you where you're at because you've been where you're at. It's not like this world is just wrapped around making, melanated people champions and on top and stuff. So you would think that that collective of scholars and scientists and doctors were maybe biased. Scientific racism can exist. It can. It can exist to make it seem as if one group is only physically stronger than the other one, but the other one's more mentally strong. And it's like, no, that's not even how the development of this thing goes. If they're claiming this out of Africa thing, it it wouldn't make any sense. It's like if it's all coming from the original gene anyway, then that would mean that was the best. And then everything else would be more downgraded through time. But if you take it individually and say, well, life started in all these different areas, wherever the tropical region is, wherever this equator is, life could be started because it's not like only Africa has fish and Africa has no kangaroos. Neither does America. But camels come from Americas. So it's not like things don't get around. But no marsupials are anywhere but in Australia. So it is obviously fact by common sense that all life does not start in one place, because the kangaroo is a prime example. The marsupial is a prime example. They are not anywhere else, so they could not start from Africa, so therefore they're not African. Okay, so if we can't say all animal life starts in one place, and we can't say that all plant life starts in one place because gopher wood only grows in Florida, if we know this, so if all animals don't grow in the same place, if all plants don't come from the same place, then by default, you cannot say that all humans come from the same place. You can't. Black Boulets love the out of Africa theory. Black Boulets love Jurassic Park DNA tests. Because that's what they don't get. You know what I'm saying? They put the dinosaur bones together before DNA. But then now they got DNA in the 80s. And then in the early 90s, they make a movie called Jurassic Park. And nobody's getting the connection. Nobody's seeing how they're trying to clean up their lie. They're trying to say, well, yeah, they can abstract, dinosaur DNA through these mosquitoes. That's why they got people saying now that there's dinosaur eggs. It's like, are you serious? Between dinosaurs and aliens alone, I am laughing at these fucking Illuminati fucking illusionists. They're so funny. Because remember, they're the light beings. They're the ones who hold the light. Okay, what light are they talking about? The fact that they've been bullshit? They're lying? Could that be it? You ever heard of the enlightened era or the era of enlightenment where these enlightened people were going around the world teaching people, okay, this is the new world. So what enlightenment did they give them? I don't know. Dinosaurs? Aliens? I don't know. Just saying. We can't get past these problems with us because we have to admit something first. The African stuff, I see why it worked. I told you stories. You have never met nobody with a backbeat, but you've seen people sharecropping. So I told you stories. We showed you a couple pictures. They got some history about people being enslaved. Okay. Then they have a certain religious teaching over here where there's slavery involved in that too. Then people start using certain parts of the book to engage in claiming to be certain people. But the book is supposed to be old. That's what I don't understand. It's like there's no America in the Bible. They would have, like, King James would have, if he was adding his own, to this book, if he was putting his own in it, why wouldn't he talk about the new world? And why wouldn't that be in there? That would be in there. The only person who speaks on America and tries to talk about it being in the Bible is someone who's already in America. That's Joseph Smith. He's already here, though. You know what I mean? So it's like he can't be from the times of Jerusalem and all that different stuff. So anyway, they give you that. And then people, emotionally connect themselves with that story. Now you have people that will say, well, you know, maybe we are these chosen people from this book and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, isn't that where the Boule took you though? Isn't that where they took you? It's like if all this Indian information is coming out on the internet, because now we have access to information. There's books that cost $1,400, $700, $1,000. Why would a book cost that much money? It's a book. It's information. You just want everybody to read. We have free schools. They literally give you free. So there's certain books that they'll let you read for free, and then there's certain ones that they won't, that you have to pay to read. This whole battle on life is about education. It's all about energy and education. That's what the E is talking about. It's all about energy and education. And what are they influencing you in? Because your mental and how you take it is what's going to bring your energy to what's going on. And I just want us to be prepared to know that, we're really going to have to battle basically all of our idols, which makes sense because you're not supposed to worship false idols. So it's like, it makes perfect sense why that would be the battle. The battle would be all these impressions of expressions that you have let enter your mind and become good people to you that you've never met. You've never met these people. That's why the Tupac hoax thing, it was a real eye-opener to me when I did it, because I'm like, damn, I was lost too. I was one of these people that just accepted anything because these people are on TV, and I'm like, oh, this is, a gift from God. No, it's like, no, really, it's not. These people are put in position, bro. A lot of stuff is put in front of you, bro. I forgot what actor said it before he died, but he was looking at the camera and he was like, always know you'll never know who's the man behind the camera. You'll never know who that person is. Always remember that. That's what you need to realize. So now that it's all coming out again, that civil rights was a hoax. It was a way to get black people economically deprived, and then get them on drugs and gangs and all that type of crap that followed. Who would be responsible for that? Because we can say white people all we want, but there's no white people around. There's no white people around. All these problems going on. Got to face the facts and deal with the real scholarship, and that's the masonry. It ain't just white people that are masons. Stop passing off black people as good masons and get to the nitty gritty of things and know the truth. We know who the good masons are, bro. We know who really are teaching people something, and then the ones that are out here performing sorcery and keeping people spellbound. Because remember, we're saying rap is a spell. So gangster rap, okay, so that then don't try to come at me like all Masons are just about some real occultic science. No. A lot of them are just vibrationally wicked. They're just demons out here making disruptive frequencies that are just messing up people's mind states and ideologies of life. We got to do better. Till the next time, man. Yo, we on y'all. We on your ass, man. All you fucking supposed scholars and shit, y'all all bogus, man. Y'all full of shit. Y'all part of the game. Get your fake ass out of here.